mainly a lecture, but we had a little bit of discussion in it, and I had them write down one thing they learned or one thing that they took away and one thing they would have liked to learn. And I was really surprised that the majority of them wrote about a piece that actually most of the class had conversation about during. So I asked a question about the use of the term refugee during during Katrina, and everybody was like totally engaged in it. And I was not expecting that piece of the lecture to be the most, like the biggest takeaway, but it was the biggest takeaway for everybody. And I was like, oh, I wonder why that is.
There's so many different ways that we can gauge students' learning. And one of the most important things is to gauge it in real time or as close to the lecture as possible. We don't necessarily want to wait till the midterm to find out if students are grasping the material or what they're learning, because oftentimes what you think you say and what students think you say are not the same thing. And so a minute paper is a technique that allows students, right after you present some material, either during the class or at the end of the class, to reflect on what they learned. The 1 minute paper too, I think we can use a little bit differently. Not only what did you learn, but what are your remaining questions about this material? Was there something that, you just didn't understand in this, all right? And ask for that kind of feedback as well, because oftentimes we're building on material through our presentations. And if people don't get the first piece, it's very hard to move on to the next. And then the instructor can quickly review those to see if the students said they learned what the instructor hoped they would learn, and to correct that in the next class if there needs to be more modification or more elaboration on the topic.
Because I used the 1 minute paper in the lecture to evaluate kind of what I did, and I was so surprised because I purposely, we gave out these exercises, and there's instructions on the top of them, and they're pretty basic, and this is like an upper level undergraduate course, and I purposely did not read the instructions out loud because in my head I was like, that's insulting. You can clearly read what's written on the paper. You're working with other students, so even if you have a question, there's another one. And 3 or 4 people on there, what was the most confusing thing, said that the instructions weren't read. And I was thinking, I guess I'm still not sure if I'm going to take that feedback and read it to them, because it wasn't everyone. But it's just funny the assumptions you bring into it.
So that's a technique that's commonly used these days. Of course, there are other ways to do that in terms of a quick little quiz or clickers. There's so many ways technology can be used now to help students reflect on that.